Hello, Leo. This is Luna speaking, and today I come with a message not of ordinary news, but of destiny unfolding in real time. Right now, the skies above you are shifting with weight and purpose. Something rare is preparing to move through your life, an energetic doorway that only opens once in a great while, and when it does, it leaves no part of you unchanged. The astrology is undeniable. We are entering a time where the Leo path splits. What lies ahead is not just another phase, it is a line in the sand, marking before and after. With the sun, your ruling luminary, engaging in powerful alignments, and the fixed star Regulus glowing in support, the stage is set for what can only be described as a karmic turning point. This is not the kind of shift you feel only in your mind. It is something that roots itself in your bones, that calls your heart forward even before your mind can catch up. The magnitude of what's coming is not random. It's the return of something earned through fire, resilience, and soul work done in silence. If you've been sensing restlessness, a vibration just beneath the surface that doesn't quite let you rest, it's not your imagination. It's the pull of the future calling you to rise. And this time, Leo, you won't just rise, you will ascend. And now, Leo, let's turn our gaze toward your professional path and the material world, two realms currently undergoing quiet but profound reconfiguration beneath the surface of your daily routine. As we move through July 14, the cosmic landscape around you is charged with rare ambition and promise. The moon finds itself in Virgo today, illuminating your second house of earned income, practical skills, and personal value. This isn't just about money. It's about your self-worth finally finding its rightful reflection in the outer world. And when the moon engages with Mercury and trines Jupiter from Taurus, your 10th house of career begins to breathe with momentum you haven't felt in a long time. There is a sense now that the world is ready to recognize what you've been cultivating in private. Opportunities that once seemed locked behind invisible doors may suddenly reveal themselves in the form of career proposals, unexpected financial boosts, or influential figures who step forward to champion your talent. These aren't random occurrences. They're astrological consequences of years of inner alignment finally syncing with external movement. With the sun still transiting your 12th house, much of this support may feel like it's coming from behind the scenes, from people you didn't expect, or from opportunities born of conversations you forgot you even had. Don't underestimate the quiet hands that are lifting you now. Venus, your planet of finance and attraction, continues her path through Cancer, activating your 12th house as well. This suggests that the seeds of your wealth are being watered in silence. This isn't about shouting your goals to the world. It's about preparing the soil, protecting your intentions, and allowing the flow of abundance to gather strength behind closed doors. By the time Venus enters your sign later this month, the results of what you've magnetized will begin to show themselves in public form. But for now, trust the unseen progress. The universe is moving pieces in your favor. If you've been thinking about launching a business, exploring investments, or stepping into a new role that feels slightly intimidating but undeniably aligned, this is the time to prepare your next move. Mars in Gemini is activating your 11th house of networks and long-term goals, encouraging you to take action within your social circles and collaborative spaces. This is not a time to isolate. The right connections will multiply your efforts and help you create financial momentum that is sustainable and expansive. Don't be surprised if someone of status or influence suddenly takes notice. This person could act as a gatekeeper, a mentor, or simply an admirer who opens a door without you even asking. You've been walking toward this chapter for longer than you realize, and now the energy supports not only financial elevation, but also a sense of professional belonging. This isn't just about receiving, it's about standing tall in what you offer and knowing that the world is finally ready to respond. Keep your heart open, your intentions clear, and your efforts consistent. The sky is not the limit. It's your mirror. And as your professional and financial world begins to shift into alignment, the cosmos does not leave your heart untouched. In fact, Leo, the changes brewing in your outer world are mirrored by a deeper, more tender evolution unfolding within your inner life, especially when it comes to love and family. July 14 casts a warm, intuitive light over your emotional sphere as Neptune retrogrades gently in Pisces, sending waves through your 8th house of intimacy, shared bonds, and emotional transformation. This is not superficial affection or fleeting attraction. What is approaching now is a kind of love that arrives as a reflection of the work you've done on yourself. A love that mirrors your growth, your healing, your capacity to stay when things are real. If you've been walking the path of solitude, not out of lack, but out of discernment, then you may feel the universe drawing someone toward you now, not as a distraction, but as a turning point. This person may appear without fanfare, in a quiet, familiar place, and yet their presence will awaken something ancient within you, as if you've known them across lifetimes. With Venus still veiled in your 12th house, the beginning may feel secretive, gentle, or emotionally intense in ways you didn't anticipate, but it won't feel wrong. It will feel inevitable, and it will challenge your old definitions of love, not to unsettle you, but to expand you. For those already walking beside a partner, the energies invite a deepening, a return to emotional resonance, or perhaps even the beginning of a new chapter you didn't know you were ready for. Whether that's building a home together, bringing a child into the world, or simply rediscovering the kind of intimacy that is built not on performance, but on truth. The patterns that once created tension may begin to dissolve, not through confrontation, but through a shared realization that the old ways are no longer necessary. This is especially true under the influence of the Sun in your 12th house, where ego softens, pride yields, and vulnerability becomes a strength rather than a risk. Even in family dynamics, those spaces so often knotted with history and silence, the energies now support reconciliation, understanding, and unexpected warmth. Saturn in Pisces continues to slowly reshape your relationship to ancestral responsibility, emotional boundaries, and generational healing. Conversations that once felt impossible may now unfold with surprising grace. You may find yourself ready to forgive, or finally feel safe enough to speak. You may notice a parent softening, a sibling reaching out, or old wounds slowly losing their edge. Love for you now is no longer a performance or a prize. It is a frequency, one that your soul is tuning itself to with patience and sincerity. Allow this frequency to guide your actions. Let it teach you how to stay soft without collapsing, how to open without needing guarantees. The people meant to walk this next chapter with you will find their way, not because you chased them, but because your light made them remember the path. And in the center of it all, Leo, your heart, so often misunderstood, so often guarded, is finally becoming a place where others feel safe to land. As love begins to settle into its rightful place and your foundations grow stronger both in spirit and in form, we turn now to the temple that holds it all. Your body, your energy, your sacred vessel. July 14 brings with it a wave of quiet restoration that may not be dramatic in appearance, but is deeply significant in essence. With the moon in Virgo illuminating your 2nd house, a subtle harmony begins to reweave itself through your physical and energetic system. Virgo is a sign of purification, and in this position, it helps you reconnect to your body's rhythms, not through force, but through remembrance. Remembrance of balance, nourishment, and intuitive self-care. You may notice that your energy is shifting in ways that feel both unfamiliar and oddly comforting. There may be sudden waves of vitality, mornings where you wake with unusual clarity, a sense of purpose in your chest, or an almost electric urge to move, to breathe, to act. Or, conversely, you might find yourself heavy with sleep, yawning through the afternoon, your body asking for stillness rather than motion. Trust both states equally. This fluctuation is not weakness. It is evidence of deep energetic recalibration. Your chakras are adjusting, your nervous system is realigning, and old emotional imprints are dissolving silently in the background. If your heart flutters unexpectedly, if there's a tightness in your chest that vanishes as quickly as it arrives, or if you feel lightheaded without cause, do not rush to fear. These may be symptoms of spiritual expansion rather than illness, a sign that the solar energy flowing through you is beginning to activate pathways that have long been dormant. Especially for Leo, whose core is ruled by the sun, these moments are potent reminders that your vitality is solar in nature, luminous, magnetic, and cyclic. You are meant to burn brightly, but also to retreat when needed, to gather yourself inward before you emerge again, stronger and clearer. This is a beautiful time to return to the basics, not as a regression, but as a sacred refinement. Drink more water. Stretch when you feel tight. Go to bed when your body says it's time, not when the world tells you it's productive. Add warmth to your food, light to your space, silence to your thoughts. Even small changes now will ripple outward, magnified by the cosmic support in place. Your physical body is catching up to the emotional and spiritual growth you've already endured. Be patient as it integrates, and most of all, listen, not just to what aches or pulses, but to what calms, what excites, what nourishes. Your body is not separate from your path. It is the path. The clearer your vessel, the more freely life can move through you. And right now, Leo, life is ready to move in waves. Let it. And as the physical body recalibrates and the heart softens its guard, a quieter yet equally powerful unfolding begins. One that takes place beyond words, beyond logic, in the inner sanctum of your soul. On July 14, Leo, your spiritual awareness heightens in ways that may feel both intimate and disorienting. Like remembering something ancient you never realized you'd forgotten. The sky confirms this subtle activation. Neptune continues its retrograde through Pisces, casting a translucent glow over your 8th house, the realm of deep emotional truth, transformation, and mystical connection. This transit does not ask for action. It asks for stillness, for reverence, for the courage to sense what cannot yet be named. Your intuition, often sidelined in favor of outward confidence, is now coming to the forefront, not in a flash of revelation, but in waves of recognition. You may find yourself knowing things before they are said, feeling into situations with a clarity that bypasses facts. This isn't imagination, it's perception refined through soul experience. Under this sky, your inner voice becomes louder than the noise around you, and the guidance you seek from others begins to pale in comparison to what your body, your breath, your dreams are trying to tell you. Sleep, especially, becomes a sacred space now. The moon's connection to Neptune amplifies dream activity, and you may notice a shift in the tone and texture of your inner world at night. Dreams may arrive like films, layered and symbolic, and even if they don't make sense immediately, they will leave behind emotional imprints, keys to questions you haven't fully formed yet. Pay attention to recurring themes, faces, landscapes. These are not random images. They are maps from your subconscious, your higher self whispering through veils. It's also a time of subtle discernment. The people around you, the spaces you enter, the choices before you, your ability to sense their true frequency is increasing. What once felt confusing or clouded may now feel unmistakably clear, not because of evidence, but because your nervous system simply knows. Trust that knowing. You are entering a phase where your perception of reality will become less about what is visible and more about what is energetically present. The more you honor this, the sharper it becomes. Pluto in Capricorn continues its transformative work in your 6th house, reminding you that your daily rituals, the structure of your time, the rhythm of your body, are gateways to spiritual discipline. This is not about performing spirituality, it's about embodying it. lighting a candle before bed, taking 3 deep breaths before you speak, journaling the image that woke you at 3 a.m. These small acts become sacred portals. They ground your intuition in form and invite more clarity to flow through you. And as all of this unfolds, you may also feel a quiet detachment from voices that once held authority in your life. Mentors, institutions, even old versions of yourself. Not out of rebellion, but because your soul is beginning to trust its own guidance more than anything external. This is the birth of sovereignty. It can be subtle, it can be disorienting, but it is one of the most profound signs of spiritual maturity. So lean into the mystery, Leo. Not everything needs to be solved. Not every insight needs to be spoken. Some truths are meant to be carried in silence until they bloom into action on their own. July 14 reminds you that your soul is not separate from the divine. It is part of it, and you are remembering your language again. One symbol at a time, one breath at a time, one sacred intuitive yes. But with every ascension, Leo, there comes a sacred test. One that does not arrive with thunder or spectacle, but in the quiet unfolding of your everyday choices. As the universe expands the light in your life, it also brings contrast. And under the sky of July 14, with Pluto still holding its station in Capricorn, and Mercury forming subtle oppositions to Neptune, you are being asked not only to rise, but to discern, to shed, and to choose wisely what rises with you. This is a moment when the very success you've longed for begins to take shape, and with it comes attention, some of it genuine, some of it cloaked in admiration that conceals envy. It is not a reason to fear, but it is a reason to pay attention. When your energy begins to shine brighter, it will naturally attract others, and not all who gather around the flame will come to keep you warm. Some will come to borrow your light, or to cast shadows where you cannot see. Be cautious now of praise that feels too polished, of promises wrapped in urgency, of offers that seem designed to flatter more than to serve your vision. Trust your body in these moments. If your stomach knots, if your heart constricts, if something feels just slightly off, it probably is. Your inner compass is sharper now than ever before. Use it. And equally important, Leo, is how you carry your victories. The universe is not testing your worthiness. It knows you are worthy. It is observing your capacity to remain rooted in truth when the winds of admiration blow strong. This is a time to practice humility, not as a gesture of modesty, but as a deep alignment with your soul. Remember those who walked beside you in the valley before you reached the summit. Share your knowledge. Acknowledge your privilege. Let your success become a river, not a wall. What you give from the heart now will return to you in ways that no currency can measure. Finally, the clearing. You may notice people drifting from your life, roles dissolving, plans unraveling without explanation. Don't chase them. This is the great housekeeping of the soul. What no longer matches your frequency is being moved out, often without your consent, but always in your favor. Let what falls, fall. You are not losing anything that belongs to your future. You are being cleared for what does. July 14 invites you not only to ascend, but to do so with integrity, clarity, and grace. And while the blessings will be abundant, it is how you hold them that will define the kind of future you step into. Remain generous, remain awake, remain true. This chapter is not only about what you gain, it is about who you become in the gaining. And so, Leo, as the energies of July 14 swirl gently around you, restoring your body, sharpening your instincts, opening the gates of love and opportunity, the message becomes clear. This is not a time to wait for life to happen to you. It is a time to step forward with courage in your chest and softness in your gaze, knowing that what awaits is not only aligned with your soul's path, but earned by every challenge you've walked through in silence. You are being invited into a higher rhythm now, one where success is measured not just in numbers, but in peace, in presence, in the quiet knowing that you are exactly where you're meant to be. Doors are opening not because of luck, but because your energy is finally a match for what you once only dreamed of. And even as old structures fall away, Trust that they are making space for a life that is deeper, fuller, and far more aligned with who you've become. Let this be your reminder. Your light is not too much. Your presence is not an accident. And the season ahead, it doesn't just want you to shine. It's asking you to lead, to love, and to live from the truth of who you are. Stay open, stay grounded, and I'll see you in the next message, dear Leo. The sky is watching, and it's on your side.